Apex Trader Funding did an exclusive interview on another YouTuber's channel, Futures Fanatic. Shout out to you, dude, for this interview. I think it's a video that a lot of people needed to see, and it brought a lot of clarity into the industry as far as what Apex is doing. So big shout out there. Thank you so much for putting this on. It was massive help, and it provided a ton of value. We're going to do a reaction video and go over my initial raw thoughts on some of the answers that he provided and overall the direction of this interview and some of the things that he said. Before we get into that video, guys, we have created a incredible community here in Discord. We have people joining left and right, and it has been an absolute vibe. People posting tons of profits, learning from one another. There's no BS, none of that. All you can see here, this is the Discord. It's just people chatting, vibing out, learning and connecting with one another. Nothing but trading, no BS, no drama, nothing. If you guys want to join that Discord, there's a link down in the description. Go click that link, jump on the Discord. Also, if you want to skip the evaluation stage and go straight to funding, I have a link down below where you can also get a straight to a funded account with Tradeify. No evaluation. You buy an account, you can earn money. Click that link and check that out, guys. Let's get into the video. There's a lot of things from this video that I want to highlight, and I'm going to go over each of those in this video. And the first thing I want to talk about is essentially the growing pains that this company went through. We've seen it with almost every single prop firm that's come into the industry and in this space. They go through growing pains that they are not equipped to essentially handle. And Apex did that exact thing. Once they introduced the 1 day to pass, and then also brought in all of these influencers at the same exact time, they overloaded their systems to where they just could not handle it. And so when you saw all the payouts that got delayed, people not getting paid out, customer support took a hit. That's really what happened with Apex during this whole era, right? During the summer when they took a massive, massive hit. And that goes for any prop firm, right? Any business in general, when they experience mass amount of growth in a short period of time, their systems and processes tend to take a hit if they're not equipped for it. That goes for any business, right? And I know a lot of people got frustrated with Apex and their support team. I even got frustrated. I'm guilty of being frustrated with them too, and how they treat their chairs like crap. You know, they took a hit, right? And they didn't know how to handle it, and they did not handle it properly. And the CEO or the CEO, whatever his title is, actually admitted to not handling it properly, right? They took a hit. Their processes took a hit. And it was growing pains that they had to work through. And it took them some time to actually work through it. But at the end of it, that's all it really was growing pains, right? Something else I want to talk about here. This has been a big controversial topic. And even I'm like guilty of talking about this and bringing it into the conversation. But I think it's something that needs to be and will continue to be talked about in the Apex prop firm, right? And that's DCAing. Now, it has always been in their contract that DCAing is not allowed. It's always been there. It was not a new rule. It never was a new rule. It's something they have always had in their contract. They just never really enforced it until they noticed a big influx of traders actually abusing it and taking advantage of it. Now, with DCAing, I have my own thoughts, and you guys can agree and disagree. That's the best part about this, right? You guys can have your own opinion. I can have my own opinion. So everybody's welcome to disagree here. But DCAing does have a place and does have a time, right? If you're DCAing into oblivion and you're just adding every 20 points it goes against you, that's just mindlessly and recklessly DCAing into a position that should never be done, ever, right? You're gonna blow your account. Even the guy that was doing the interview said that go do that in your live account, fund an account with $50,000, and do that in your live account and see how long it lasts you, right? And he has a point. He does have a point there. DCAing can be recklessly used and irresponsibly taken advantage of, right? However, there is a time and a place to actually use DCAing. And in my opinion, again, this is just me, DCAing in a zone where you have a very strong, let's just say you have a very strong support area, and you're seeing it reject off that support area time and time and time again, adding to your position with the confirmation that it is rejecting off that support area, even though you're adding below your average entry price, DCAing, I think that's okay. And I feel like he feels like that's okay. And we're going to talk on that here in a second. But that DCAing like that is a responsible way to DCA, not just adding every 20 points or 10 points that it goes against you, right? And that's just going to blow your account. And I can see where he's coming from on that point of view. Now, He did say that DCA is coming back in the right way.
DCA is going to be able to come back in the right way because there's a right place for it.
They are going to reintroduce and bring DCAing back, but I'm sure with the way he said things, there's going to be some stipulations around it, which I totally agree with. But I do feel like traders should be allowed to DCA. He did say in that interview that DCAing is going to come back, but come back in the right way. So I'm curious to see what that means, what he's going to do with it, and how they're going to lighten up on the whole DCA rule. Now, he did mention, we're going to the next point of this video, he did mention a lot of schemers and scammers. And I think I got a really clear picture of what that means, because there's been a lot of schemer and scammer talk and comments and people making fun of the phrase. And I was even one of them. Like, I feel like I got a clear picture on what he means by schemers and scammers. There are, and I have seen a lot of different services out there where people will offer to trade your account for you. You can connect your account to theirs and they essentially trade your account. Now I get it. That's essentially what they mean. And I don't think they were very clear about that, right? I feel like they were kind of beating around the bush when it came to what they meant by schemers and scammers. There are services where people will actually trade your accounts for you. And if you're one of those people where you're hiring those services, you don't really know how to trade, and so you don't really deserve that account. I am actually fully on board with this, by the way, right? This is where they asked for video request. And I was even one of the people that was like, why the hell is Apex asking for all these videos from people and denying them? Now I get it, right? I will be the first to admit that I was wrong in how I viewed the video request that Apex was sending out to people. I was wrong. I'll fully admit that. I'm a transparent dude. I'm going to say what it is. If I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong. I'm going to say what it is, man. They requested those video requests from people because there were thousands of traders that were using these services and not even trading their accounts, let alone don't even know how to actually log in a NinjaTrader or log into their accounts. Right? They essentially, and what Futures Fanatics said, incriminated themselves in this videos. And that's why you saw a lot of these video requests going out and a lot of denials happening. Now I get it. There were people actually playing the system in order to get a funded account, in order to get paid. Was everybody doing that? I don't know. But if they have data showing that people were using these services, then I'm fully on board with it. I don't feel like anybody should be using a service where somebody else trades your account, because at the end of the day, what happens when that person stops trading your account? You don't know how to trade. So you don't know why they're taking the trades, how they're making money, why they're making money, or how or why they're losing money. You have no idea. And so you're not only becoming a better trader, you're not ever going to learn how to trade because someone else is doing it for you. And Apex doesn't want that. They don't want people that don't know how to trade and having people trade for them, because they did not earn the account or earn the profits that Apex is going to be paying them, essentially. And so I am fully on board with that. Now, something I did appreciate that Apex did in this interview was they took blame for the communication when they had a lot of growing pains.
Hire more staff, have better systems. And I wish I could have done that overnight. But that doesn't happen overnight. That took us a few months to do and to work through this. And people say Apex is terrible at communication. Y'all should have communicated better. 100% I'll take blame for that too. Yeah, we did not communicate well. We did not communicate properly. We did not communicate enough.
Going into that and how their customer support took a hit in their systems and processes, right? A lot of traders were treated like total crap, right? Customer support was talking to traders like total garbage. I won't even say the word I want to use. They were treating them like crap, right? And that's where I had a big issue with Apex. My biggest issue wasn't the DCA. It wasn't the video requests. My biggest issue was how customer support was treating their traders, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm a trader, right? And I want to be treated fairly and equally and talked to like I'm a trader inside your company.
Was our support staff at the time overwhelmed, not being able to keep up, getting yelled at all day of like, why are you behind? Why are you behind? They were, lost their cool. I lost my own cool at times. They didn't handle things well, didn't handle things professionally. People were not treated properly. Customers were not treated properly. They were not responded to professionally. There's a difference in, I would say there's a difference in response versus reaction.
Right. And so when I saw all these reports and all these people like really getting treated like total crap from customer support, it really put a bad taste in my mouth and how I felt about Apex. Now, this guy said that they have let go of a lot of customer support and they've rehired, they've restructured some things for the better, and that's going to help initially benefit the trader, and the trader is going to get what they need out of Apex and their firm. And that I actually fully respect. And the fact that he took fault and blame for how things were handled from customer support to the traders really said a lot, right? It spoke volume because you could tell that he actually cared. There was just a lot happening at one time inside this company that customer support just couldn't handle, right? Again, it goes to the point of process systems and processes have to be in place in order for a business to thrive. And when you experience such massive growing pains, your systems and processes are going to take a hit. And when those take a hit, what happens to the trader? The trader is going to experience a downfall of those systems, right? Because they're going to get treated like crap. They're not going to get their payouts. They're going to get confused. They're going to have a lot of questions. They're going to open a ton of support tickets. And they're going to overflood the systems even more than they already are. It's going to get bad, right? And so I appreciate that Apex took the blame and the fault for not preparing or not seeing the growth that they were experiencing after introducing the whole, 1 day to pass and then bringing on these massive influencers with tons of following, bringing them to their account, right? That was huge. And I will say that, even though Apex was not the first prop firm to in this space, right? TopStep really pioneered this industry, right? They really came in and set, the tone here. But TopStep did become a better program because of Apex. And this was mentioned in the interview by Futures Fanatic, right? They became a better program because Apex came in and had these better prices, better offerings, right? And as in the competitive nature of things, TopStep had to adapt and to lower the prices, offer new accounts, so on and so forth, and make their evaluations from 2 phase to 1 phase, whatever the case is. They had to adapt to Apex because Apex set the tone for competition, right? They set the tone for affordability and making accounts more accessible, so to speak, right? And so TopStep had to adapt, and Apex is the one that made TopStep become a better program. I will say that much. TopStep was first. They grandfathered this scene. Then more competition came in and made TopStep a better program, right? Now, one of the things they did mention, which I fully am aware of, and I feel like it's going to come sooner than later, is regulation, right? Regulation is going to come in these prop firms. Without a doubt, it's happening, right? And what that essentially means is they are going to take the CME, for example, right? They're going to look to see if these prop firms are in the right way and probably legally promoting the futures market the way it needs to be promoted. And are traders actually going to live and staying in live, or are they coming back out of live and going back into sim accounts, right? There's regulation coming, okay? And the prop firms that are not following, I'm not going to say guidelines or rules because I don't feel like those are set yet as in terms of regulation. But if they're not following what the CME wants them to do, these prop firms won't be around. I feel like there will be a handful of prop firms actually disappear and go out of business because of regulation. I feel like it will happen. And then there will only be a select few that are actually standing. I feel like, my personal opinion, on the eval side of things, I don't know about straight to funded yet. On the eval side of things, I feel like there's only a few that would potentially that are going to stand and be around. That's Top Step, that's Apex, and that's Take Profit Trader. I feel like those three, in my opinion, right now, are the ones that are definitely going to be around for the long haul. There's also My Fun Futures. I've seen a lot of good things about them. I don't know much about them, so I'm not going to really speak on them a whole lot until I dig more into them. They could be a great firm. I just don't know yet. I haven't really dug into them, and I'm going to. But from the people that I have dug into and the people that I have seen time and time again is Top Step, Apex, and Take Profit Trader. They have systems and processes that seem like it's what the CME and regulation would want to see in the industry, right? And so I really feel like those are the three that will be around the longest for right now, right? Obviously, anything can happen, anything can change, but for right now, where it stands, I feel like those are the best. Now, they did address the whole probation thing, right? They talked about probation, what it is, and what it's like, right? And there were a lot of traders that were placed on probation, and they got really confused on why they were in probation, right? And it's really to identify, or well, the way you put it was to address particular issues. For example, DCAing, right? If you didn't follow the rules, or if you DCA'd the way you shouldn't have DCA'd, because I believe they allow it like one time or something like that. But if you didn't follow the rules, they place you on a probation status to where, hey, just show you can trade for 10 days following the rules, and then you can keep all your profits. And he even said that he's not taking away profits from anybody, right? He hasn't even enforced that, right? But he just said, you can show 10 days where you follow the rules and you're good. You're out of probation. You can continue trading, whatever. I don't think that's too much to ask. I mean, I have my own thoughts on DCAing, and I feel like, what he did say earlier was that he is bringing DCAing back the right way. So I am curious on what that means. I feel like you should be able to DCA responsibly, of course. So we'll see what that means. But probation, that's essentially it, right? There was a certain rule that got iffy, and that you may not have followed to a T, and they're gonna place you on probation for 10 days, and then you just show you can follow the rules and you're good, right? Now, something that there was some phrasing that he mentioned around DCAing where he says, come on, man, it's not even real trading, right? I want to iterate that DCAing is real trading. It is a real strategy if used properly, okay? If you're adding in a zone in a support area, so to speak, that's holding up, it's not breaking below, price is not able to push through that initial area, it is okay to add into a position that is showing strength and showing that it's going to go in your favor, right? There is nothing wrong with that. If that trade is going against you 20 points, why add? Why continue to add, right? If it's 20 points against you and 20 points against you and 20 points against you, eventually you blow your account. That's irresponsible DCAing. DCAing is a real strategy. It is a real thing, and it does work when used correctly. So I'm curious to see what he does in order to make this right for everybody on the whole DCA thing. But overall, this entire interview was great, right? I mean, he brought some clarity, answered some great questions. Overall, it made me feel like I have a little more respect for Apex, and I'm not opposed. I'm not getting an account with them right now. I still want things to play out. I still want to see them move forward with all of this and make things better for the trader. So I'm not like 100%, I'm going back to Apex, and I'm not flip-flopping, right? However, I will say that I have gained a lot more respect for Apex and what they are doing. I still think they have a long way to go. I still think there's a lot of things that need to change, a lot of systems and processes they need to fix. But if they continue on the right track, I think, in my opinion, and I'm speaking objectively here because I have had some issues with Apex that I did not appreciate, I did not like, how I've seen traders be treated. So speaking objectively here, if things continue to go the way they are, I would not mind reconsidering trading with Apex again, as long as things continue going in this direction. But there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still a lot of things that they need to fix. And so we'll see, right? We'll see. But guys, with that said, if you like this kind of content, smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel to get more daily content. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.